Hello, 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 hello. Guys, I'm so excited tonight. I had probably one of the most unique experiences I've ever had last night. And I'm going to tell you about it because I'm going to tell you about what acro yoga taught me about business. Seriously, it's insane. And for those of you who know me, you know I'm a big yogi and I love my yoga. And yeah, I tried something new last night and I tried acro yoga for the very first time. So, hey guys, if you are just joining me tonight, my name is Leah Moore. I am the social selling alchemist, the attraction marketing techie, your curlologist. And now I'm going to talk about some more feminine qualities of business. This is what we've been discussing this entire month. And I learned something amazing. So guys, if you're joining me for the first time tonight, please drop a new in the comments tonight. I like to try to make things interactive, and I've actually planned out some notes tonight to make things a little bit more interactive. So please let me know that you're there. Say hi, drop where you're coming in from. If you're catching the replay, hello. Welcome back to the replay. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into my content tonight, guys. I have a bunch of notes down here, and I'm going to start with this quote that I grabbed from a Buddha practice. What is the name of this? It's called Tiny Buddha. So I know that I love the Tiny Buddha quotes that come up. And if you're a Tiny Buddha quote person, give me a Buddha, thumbs up. Let me know that you're a Tiny Buddha follower as well. And the quote is, "You must learn to let go. Release the stress. You were never in control anyways." And it's by Steve Maraboli. So if you guys need me to repeat that, let me know. But I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. When we allow ourselves, instead of making things happen, I realize that when I stop making myself make things happen and I allow things to happen, they are so much easier, right? Who else? But that's entirely impossible for me. I have a really, really hard time with that because I'm a bit of a control freak. Are there any other control freaks in business with me here, guys? If you're a control freak like me, go ahead and drop one in the comments because I want to know that I'm not alone. I think a lot of business owners are control freaks, and that's the reason we're business owners, because we can't handle someone else being in control, right? So drop a one in the comments if you are a control freak. I'm absolutely terrible at this. And there are three major P's, the three P's, what I call the three P's of paralysis, that keep us from getting anywhere. And these are those things. If you've ever found yourself in paralysis, drop a 2 in the comment. If you've ever found yourself in paralysis where you're not moving forward in your business or anything else, whether it be a goal or anything else that you want to do in your life. And it's because we are trying to plan, we are trying to predict, and we are trying to prevent. Those are the three P's of paralysis, right? So we technically have 4 P's there. But those are the 3 P's. And really when we get into it, I'm going to bring my notes up here because I hate looking all the way down there. This is a little bit better. The problems we have when we try to take control over the things that we're doing is that we're trying to control things because of what we think is going to happen if we don't. How many of you can relate to that? How many of you relate to the fact that if you're not in control, you're really afraid of what could potentially happen? I think we're up to 3. Drop a 3 in the comment if that's you. If you're this is that I have to plan everything out because if I don't, then something's not going to go right. That's a 3. If you are, the control issues that you have is a result of being attached to a specific outcome. So there's something that you really, 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 really want to happen. So whether it be your personal goals, your business goals, you're attached to that personal outcome. If that's you, drop a 4 in the comment. If that's what keeps you in paralysis and stops you from moving forward, drop a 4 down there. An outcome, because that outcome is what we are predicting, right? We're predicting that that's the best option for us. But if it's really the best option for us, we don't know, because we can only think we cognitively can only think so far. We only know so much, right? So when we trust that we are okay no matter what the circumstances are that are coming our way, we don't need to micromanage the universe. We can let go and open up to all sorts of possible wonderful things, right? So I'm going to tell you guys about my experience with exactly this. Hey, Darren, thanks for joining me. So I was telling you guys what I learned about this particular concept right here about not micromanaging and just trusting in the universe, or letting go, and it being open to all sorts of wonderful, potentials. So last night I went out to try AcroYoga for the very first time. I've actually never done it. I honestly thought I was walking into an aerial yoga class and didn't realize how different they are. So if you know what AcroYoga is, drop an acro down in the comments for me. If you don't know what AcroYoga is, go look it up. It's beautiful. It is also known as a kind of a partner yoga, because you can't do it by yourself. You have to have other people involved. But essentially, there's a lot of trust that is required when you are doing this form of partnership in terms of working with somebody, especially when you don't know anybody in the group. And I actually am ballsy, just like that. And I walked in not having any expectations, not knowing what I was getting into, and absolutely not with anybody I knew. I'm like, I didn't know anybody in the audience that was there. And I was told to partner up with somebody and let them hold on to me without any, like any other things to, there was no trust information first. It was just, okay, this is what we're going to do. You're going to create a pocket. So for those of you who have been cheerleaders, you understand the pocket, the flyer, and the base concept. So that I was, I was a base when I was in high school. I'm very body conscious. I'm also very much of a control freak. I am a micromanager at times. And, I also am not the lightest person on the face of the planet. So just the idea of having to be a flyer, meaning I had to allow somebody else to hold up my weight, is very intimidating. It is definitely not a factor that I am comfortable doing. And here I am, I'm in a class where I'm actually going to lean into somebody and they're going to hold my body weight, or I'm going to actually, pull tension against somebody else in a different direction, and I'm going to be able to hold their body weight. And it was freaky. It's very, very freaky. But here's the thing. I worked with two really awesome people. And I'm one of those people who kind of throws myself into something and with unabashed, unabandoned. I don't pussyfoot my way around. I like to jump right in. I like to just get it done, because if I'm going to fail, I'd rather fail epically than not at all. And sometimes that works for me. Sometimes that actually leads to more problems. But I jumped right into the practice, and I chose to trust infinitely in the people that were there to support me. And by trusting them, I was able to do a couple of things I'd never done before. But I was working with one of the partners at a point in time, and I was having all sorts of issues, and we're trying to communicate, and we're trying to tell each other what to do, and we fatigued out. Our muscles literally fatigued out, so he couldn't hold me up anymore, and there's no way that I could even keep my balance or hold my body tension tight enough so that I could actually continue that particular exercise. So yeah, so basically I learned that I couldn't micromanage the situation. But it wasn't until the very end of class that I actually had the opportunity to work with the instructor, who is one of 4 certified AcroYoga instructors in the state of Michigan, and is probably one of the #1 bases in the state of Michigan. So here we've got a person who's extremely strong, who knows what he's doing. He's the one who's leading the crew, and he actually came over and worked with me for about 3 to 5 minutes. And I had to give him my trust. I had to literally just dive in, and all of a sudden I would get these instructions. I was in a comfortable position. He said, okay, do this with your hand, do this with your hand. And all of a sudden I'm in a different position. Okay, now plank your feet and do this and do that. And now I'm in a different position. And then, okay, just grab onto my forearms and tip your feet this way and blah, 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 whatever the instructions were. But essentially what happened is, this entire series, within about 3 to 5 minutes, I had just continued to move along and progressed in such a way that I could never have fathomed, being the first time I'd ever been in this environment, never, and being super, super control freakish, being completely body conscious, and also just, just that control freak in me, to actually just surrender into trusting what could potentially be. There's no way that I could have fathomed what could have happened. And I realized that in those moments, that is what it means to fully trust in the divine, in the universe. Because yes, I was actively participating, but I was fully trusting that he had my back, that he was supporting me, that he was going to get me to the next step, just with a couple instructions. I didn't have to force my way through figuring out how to do it myself. I didn't have to mentally figure out, okay, well, he wants me to do this position, so in order to do that, I just have to do this and then that. No, I just listened, and I was able to do so much more than my brain could completely be like on board for. So the energy, like, I just want to tell you guys that story because I thought it was so amazing, because I felt that. And I would tell anybody who is a control freak, whether you be male or female, especially if you're a female and you have body image issues, if you have, if you're sensitive to your weight, because that's obviously been my issue. I've always been sensitive to being heavy for people to lift. And all of a sudden, I felt free. I felt as though I could do anything. I was capable of doing things that I wasn't capable of doing 40 minutes ago, before I actually surrendered to actually just listening and taking the guidance that I was given at the moment, not wondering what was coming up next. So the energy of surrender, it accomplishes so much more than the energy of control. We are able to do so much more when we just surrender into it. In surrender mode, I'm calm, I'm peaceful, I'm breathing deeply. I'm able to, again, I was able to think clearly. I wasn't consciously deciding what to do next, or where to put my weight, or how to shift this or move that. Have anybody ever felt that, where you've been in that calm position? If you guys have, give me a thumbs up. Like, I want to know that you've been in that position. And if you haven't, how does it feel when you're not in a position of surrender? When you're in this hustle mentality, or you're in this push mentality, when you feel as though you have to control the outcome on the other end? That's my question to you. Does it feel good? Do you feel like that's a place you want to be in for the rest of your life? I can tell you that when again, this is the difference between working with one partner and micromanaging and focusing and having to try to drive that, conversation. Okay, well, what are we doing next? Versus, okay, I got you. Just do this. You're good. Just do that. Okay, you're good. I really like the second environment. If I had never had that experience, I don't know what I would think of AcroYoga. I enjoyed it, but it was so much more enjoyable once I did that. I was like, oh my God, this is great. So surrender means to stop fighting. It literally means to stop fighting. Stop fighting yourself. Stop fighting the universe. Stop fighting the flow of natural things. Just stop resisting and pushing against reality. So I was pushing against reality when I was working with my partner, and I'm telling him, well, I don't know what you want me to do. How do you want me to do this? Instead of just trusting him to give me the guidance that I needed. So drop stop in the comments if you are at that point where you are ready to stop fighting and going with the flow. You're ready to go with the flow. You're ready to stop fighting, and you're ready to learn and master. It's a mastery, not just a learning here, guys. Master the art of surrender. I should actually have you guys dropping surrender in there, but if you're ready to just stop, just either put a stop sign in there for me, or just drop stop in the comments. I love that you guys are here. Hey Tony, hey Robert, hey Darren, hey Sarah, hey Crystal, hey Christy. Hey guys, don't be a stranger. I love seeing you here. I love seeing your faces. Even if they are this big. it makes it so much more fun to be able to talk with you guys. So surrender is a complete acceptance of what is, and faith that all is well, even without my input. So again, guys, I've told you exactly what my experience was and how AcroYoga really pointed this out. It was not my input. My input actually made it worse, because I was trying to control the situation. But when I just surrendered into it, all of a sudden magic happened. It's not about not taking action. It's not about inaction. I was still very much a part of the creation of each of those steps. I had to be involved. I had to be in control of my body and knowing what to do with my body based on his instructions in order to be suspended in the air. And if I did it, then I wasn't actively participating, then we couldn't move forward. We would be stuck where we were. So it's not about inaction when you surrender. It is about taking back. It's about taking action from a place of surrendering energy. So trusting that the guidance is given to you, trusting that you're going to know the next step when you need to, you're going to be given the next step when you need to, trusting that the right people are going to show up in your business when you want them to, trusting that you're going to be able to talk to the right people when you need to, that the money is going to be there because you've asked for it, and you're working for it. You know, those are your actions. So drop a 4. We're at 4 now. 4 in the comment if you're ready to stop riding the waves and fighting the waves, and you're ready to just kind of cruise in to the shoreline. Because guys, I have a group, it's called La Fempreneur Society. And this is where we dig in deeper into this kind of information, where we dig into the surrendering, the actual action of surrendering, practices, meditations, practical tips on how we can actually implement surrendering into our businesses, because God knows that is a really hard thing for most of us as control freaks to do. We have a hard time surrendering into our businesses and being able to truly be a part of it instead of controlling and micromanaging every part of it. There's so much that we have on our tables that there's no way in heck we can actually control all of those. So if you would like more information on meditation, on practical application of surrendering and how that works, as a business owner, and how we can actually take both the feminine and the masculine qualities of leadership and a business and really apply them to your business, drop fem in the comments for me, because that is what I am all about this year. This is the journey that I have been on for numerous years, and this is the journey that I'm willing and ready to take some more people with me on, to build some more leaders in this new conscious capitalism, this new conscious leadership that we see coming forward, that I see coming forward, that truly is going to lead us and elevate our lives, our businesses, our platforms, whether you're in sales or network marketing or coaching. It doesn't matter what industry you're in or consulting as a business owner, this is still something that's very relevant to what we are doing right now. But let me just give you a couple quick tips. I'm going to give you 3 quick questions that you can ask yourself. Hold on one second. I've got a cough here, guys. Sorry, still fighting some of that drip here. But, how do you drop the fight? Let's get into some practicals really quick, because I never like to get on here and don't leave you with something that's practical that you can take home and apply for you, because it's all about sharing the great information that I've gathered as a leader, as another fierce feminine entrepreneur, those that are aware in their consciousness. Awareness is noticing that you're in control mode. So even just awareness that you're in control mode and being able to consciously and deliberately make the decision to release that control. To ask yourself, to surrender into that energy of, this is not my business. If you, again, if you want to know more how to do that, we've got more information in the tribe. But here are 3 questions that you can ask yourself when you feel that you're in this place of control freak, when where you need to learn how to surrender into it. Number 1 is, what am I afraid will happen if I let go of control? So what am I afraid of that would happen if I let go of control? This is such a practical piece, such a practical question, but you have to be willing to sit down and talk to yourself as well. Take the time to really reflect on that question, and you'll understand that it's most likely based in fear of the outcome of what's going to happen. But ultimately, is that something that you can control? Yes, you can control your fear. Can you control the outcome? Even though you actually have a plan in place, can you absolutely be in charge of what's going to absolutely happen in the end? A lot of times we can't. So you have to you have to weigh that option out for yourself and be able to say, no, you know what, this isn't a situation that I can fight, and it's only based in fear. But what if something better were to come along? Even if it wasn't the way that I planned it, what if something better came along? Well, there's a switch in mentality. That might be the way to release the control on that situation. The second one is, find out whose business you're in. Are you in my business? Are you thinking that you're going to be able to control what I do in my business? Now, this is something that is notorious in people who work with other people. Whether you're a coach working with somebody else's business and you're getting frustrated with them because you're trying to control how they work their business, or you are in network marketing and you have a team member, a tribe member who's just not pulling their weight, they're not hitting their rank goals. You can't control how they work their business. This is their business. It's their business. If you get out of their business, you no longer have to have this control freak set, and you can surrender into your business because something better is coming along. But as long as you are death gripping what you expect to have happen, you can't allow other things to come to you. And then number 3 would be, what would it feel like to feel? Would it feel like freedom? Would it feel like freedom if I just let go? So would it feel like freedom if I just let that person run their business and I just am allowing myself to be here for them? When they're ready for it, I will be here. Does that feel like freedom? Or does it feel like more freedom when you're trying to spin plates, as Eric Worre says, where you get one girl moving and you get another guy over here moving and you spin another plate and you get them, and all you're doing is running around spinning plates, right? So by being receptive and allowing things to happen, it's a skill. It's not something that we are naturally choose to do most of the time. It's a lot easier to be in control. And I know this from firsthand. I've always said it's easier for me to do something by myself than to have other people help me, because I know exactly how to get things done. That's the control freak in me. And it can be a really wonderful quality at the same time, but it can be such a harmful quality. Hey, Robin, thanks for joining me, darling. It can be such a harmful quality when we're not able to build the skills and improve upon something that could create more freedom in our lives. And being in that mode of surrendering. And again, remember, it's not about inaction. It is an action that you're forming in cooperation with the universe, with God's, with your spirit realms, whatever you want to talk about, and everybody else that's around you, because collectively we're working together. You want to choose, the choice is yours, really. Do you want to choose to muscle through it, or do you want to let go of the oars and let the currents get you to shore, hold you downstream? When you're holding the intention, when I'm holding the intentions of what I truly want, when you hold the intentions of what you truly want, but you're not forcing yourself to do it, you're in an act of surrender. Holding the intentions and taking the action as it is given to you through the process is going to get you there. I'm still a work in progress, guys. I am not a master of this skill. The art of surrender is, and honestly, I wouldn't be talking about this right now if it weren't for the fact that AcroYoga experience truly taught me what it feels like to be 100% supported by the universe or by anything, by another person, to be truly supported and to be given the guidance to do things that I never expected to do before. So there you go, guys. That's all I got for you. If you found some value in what you heard tonight, please do me a favor and share this out with your communities. I am so passionate about helping fierce feminine entrepreneurs to really elevate their businesses, specifically in the industries of network marketing and sales, because we have to become business owners that are both feminine and masculine in equal quantities. And when we can't do that, we're forcing ourselves into a box that we're really not meant out for. And that leads to so many things like diseases and aches and pains and burnout and, just spent energy that we shouldn't be doing. So that's one of the major reasons why I created Left Entrepreneur Society, is to really help to bring both the masculine and feminine qualities of business and of leadership to the forefront, and specifically within the network marketing industry. So guys, if this is something that you are interested in, again, you can drop Fem in the comments. I'd love to add you to my community and to continue to support you on your journey as a fierce feminine entrepreneur, fierce feminine leader, or a conscious leader, if that's your situation. If you're not a woman yourself, you're just a conscious leader, that's okay too. We don't have to call you a feminine leader. But guys, again, if you enjoyed the information, please share this out with your communities. I thank you guys all again so much for joining me tonight. If you caught the replay, make sure that you interact with me tonight and that you drop replay down in the comments so I can give you a shout out. I love talking to all of you guys, and I've had a lot of fun. So have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys soon.